Well, the Borg once said resistance is futile, but exercise is definitely not when it comes to resistance bands. Let's start the show! This resistance band set has been sitting in the house for months, and no longer. It now has to be brought into use, and as you can see as I take the lid off, I haven't actually opened it at all. So what are resistance bands? Well, they are designed to help with the strength of the body, and it's using the resistance of the band against your actual body mass, your body weight. I did this when I went to a pre-diabetes prevention class, and it was actually quite useful. So they provided the bands, and I thought, well, I've got to get them. So I did, and as I say, this is the first time I've ever used them. So let's see how we get on with this. It's very handily, has got some instructions here about what to do. So as you can see, in the first figure here, you put your feet on the band and then you pull up on either end, just like that. And there's various exercises that you can do. You can do the arm out one as well. So I think we'll start with the feet. So you can do this inside or out. It doesn't need to be outside on a windy day like this. Okay, so here we go. Feet on the ground and holding on to the resistance bands, and up we go. Start off gently, but I can feel that this is actually working in the arms, the upper arms, and in a way this is kind of a bit like carrying heavy shopping bags home. It's the same sort of I was going to say pain, it's the same sort of feeling. So how many calories would this burn? Well, you're going to have to work really hard to burn off even half a chocolate bar, because it's reckoned that 30 minutes of moderate resistance bands work will only burn off 100 calories. So you'll have to do quite a lot. So here we've got the other one now. This is for the upper strength. Well, actually, you can use it in different ways. Here's the one I want to use. I'm going to try this. So it is using it for the arms diagonally. Let's give that a go, shall we? So we start here, and we, I guess, just need a bit. It has to be quite taut. That's the thing. Okay, here we go. And switch. If you feel that you're not getting enough resistance out of it, then if you go like this, the less you have that you're pulling, the more resistance you're going to get. Or if it's too difficult, then you can pull it out a bit. And I wouldn't say that this would be your full exercise routine, but if you haven't done exercise for a while like me, then it is a good way to get started. So one of the best ways to get exercise quickly and easily is to go for a walk. And it's always better if you've got somewhere pleasurable to take a stroll. Now, we're very lucky that we've got the grounds of Brunel University on our doorstep, and it's lovely to come to on a beautiful day like this. Maybe not so when it's raining, although we have done that as well. So the thing is, how many calories does walking actually burn? Well, if you're going at a steady pace, so that's say walking about a mile, over the course of an hour you could burn up to about 360 calories. But to be honest, if you think about it, even though that's good, it's not going to burn off much more than a chocolate bar. So perhaps the answer is don't eat the chocolate bar and go for the walk, and then that will be a double health bonus. Well, of course, you have to bear in mind that walking is not that easy for everyone, and I'm not trying to make excuses for myself, but I've had problems with walking recently, and it's due to an issue with one of my toes. Now, I'm not going to go into too much detail, and to be honest, I don't think there's much can be done about this, because I did see the doctor about it. The last time I actually saw a doctor face to face for a normal surgery way back in March 2020. Now, the problem is that when I walk, I have extreme pain in one of my toes, which means that I have to put on a band-aid just to actually reduce that pain. It causes a little, creates a bit of a cushion. So I do try to walk as much as I can, but it is painful. So there are other things that you can do which does not require walking to lose a bit of weight, and we will be looking at that in a moment. And of course, no visit to Brunel is complete without stopping off to see the great man himself.
Thanks for watching the show. Please continue to comment, like, and especially subscribe. Thanks!
Paul, this looks very healthy. What are you doing? You're cutting up carrots. I like carrots.
Yeah.
So what are you doing, Paul?
I'm making some soup today.
And what is the soup?
Hot and sour soup.
Is that Chinese?
Are you gonna say Oriental?
Is that Oriental soup?
Ah,
No. Chuck it out.
for the bunny.
Okay, what can you tell us about the health qualities of this soup?
It's rich in manganese, which is important for bone development.
Would it help my teeth as well?
Yeah.
And how many calories is in a cup? Roughly.
Less than 200.
Oh, I think it's less than that. It's actually 100. Get your facts straight, Paul.
I am cutting a lot of stuff taking forever.
And you know that it's making me hungry too, because I like my carrots. Very tasty. Okay, so now that you're nearly finished, I think it's time to let's get started.
Time for lunch. What do we have here? We have chicken stock, shiitake mushrooms and other types of mushrooms, bamboo shoots, tofu, ginger garlic chili, pork, shredded carrots. What do you think we're making? I will give you one clue. It's a hot and sour soup. So let's get started. So I am using 3 of these chicken pouches, chicken stock, 3 packs of it. This will serve as the base for the hot and sour soup. You could have used a vegetable stock if you wanted. So after this comes to a boil, then I will start adding all the ingredients to the pot. Okay, so the first thing that I'm gonna put in is the julienne carrots, because I think that this will take a little bit longer to soften. So let's pour that in. This is 2 large carrots. The next thing that I'm gonna add is the chili, garlic, and ginger, because I want it to infuse with flavor. Okay, so the soup is coming to a slight boil a little bit. So now I think let's add some of the pork to it to impart some flavor. You could use shredded chicken or any other types of protein that you want. So this goes in like that. Let's spread it out. So the pork is just gonna cook inside this broth. Now let's also add some of these bamboo shoots. I'm not gonna cut it because I want the texture of them. So let's pour them in. This soup is really starting to take shape, I think. I think it's also time to add some of these mushrooms, because you want the mushrooms to impart their flavor as well. So all of this goes in. This is like 1.5 packs of mushrooms that I had. These are the specialty mushrooms that I also have. Okay, now is time to add the sour element to the soup. So I have rice vinegar. You could use any run-of-the-mill vinegar, but not balsamic, because that's too strong. So maybe a few tablespoons. And also let's add a bit of light soy. And let's add some of this dark soy. Dark soy is just for the coloring. This isn't really for the saltiness. And let's stir it all about. Oh, I forgot to add my white pepper. So maybe a smidgen amount. A little goes a long way. Oh wow. It isn't too vinegary, which is good. And it's not overly salty as well. Now that the soup is simmering to a nice boil, it's time to add the sliced tofu in, because this doesn't really require too much cooking, so this is why we're putting it at the end. This shouldn't really take too long to cook, to be honest. Ooh, this looks fabulous. So I'm going to add about 2 tablespoons of corn flour. I think I'm just gonna add a little bit at first because I don't know how much it's gonna thicken it. So why don't we just pour half for now. Start stirring. Maybe I need all of it. Okay, the next fun part is adding the egg to it. So the egg aspect of it will give it some of that shininess and give it those the egg ribbons. You will know what I mean when I add it into the hot soup. So let's bring it up to the boil. So I think we are going to pour it in slowly. And I think we are almost ready. Just let me add some sesame oil to give it a nice taste as well. A little goes a long way. And as garnish, we are going to be adding some spring onions. I think that this hot and sour soup goes really well with egg fried rice that I just made. So I think it's time to eat now. Oh, this looks really hot. Oh wow, it's nice and hot from the chili and it's nice and sour from the rice vinegar, and it's very, very hearty, and I think that this will fill you up. You could use it from the behind.
Oh, I don't think I'm going to do that.
Oh, didn't you want to do it?
Okay.
You didn't do it in anything.
Yeah, I'll do it now. Film me. Well, that's it for today. I think the most difficult bit is going to be packing this away. See you next time.
Maybe do it inside.
Yeah, maybe do it inside.